What is going on, guys? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. This is going to be video number 1 of my live stream State Kings collab here at Hustler Casino Live. We're playing $25.50, maybe $100 straddle on today, and I've sold 10% of action on State Kings, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. Just got here to the studio and live stream room, and we're about to get started, but I just got presented a very, very cool gift by Ryan Feldman. This little box here, we're gonna unbox it together, and I don't know if I'm gonna do it justice, but this is awesome. It's the certificate of the $1 million live stream game that I played, and a picture with, well, that's covering my face, a picture of me with all the freaking chips of $1 million in front of me. So big thank you to Ryan for that. Anyways, we're gonna hop in. Shout out to everyone that bought action on State Kings. We're gonna get started pretty soon, and let's tune in and hopefully things go well today. This stream and game is going to start off with me putting on the $200 straddle. We're supposed to play $25.50, but sometimes things get spicy. $25.50, $100, $200, and here Mariano starts off by raising his button to $500. Dylan makes the call on the small blind, and I look down at ace-3 of diamond on this $200 straddle, and I just think this is such a wonderful opportunity to squeeze and try to get after it, especially against our buddy here, Mariano. I decided to make it $2,500. Here, back to Mariano, who's certainly capable of just raising a bunch of hands that's going to fold here, and this time it's not one of those times. He actually ends up putting in another raise to $8,000. Dylan folds, and oh boy, he is the only person I'm playing quite deep with, over 100K in each of our stacks. I mean, do I really want to surrender and let my hand go, or continue with aggression and bluff like I have a good hand? You know, I could be re-raising here with aces and kings and ace-king and all that sort of things. So I'm definitely not one to give up if you see my channel at all. And setting the tone early, I won't get bullied around, and I'm going to raise again to 18,000. Really praying for a fold here. But hey, look, if he calls, it'll be good content, at least, although expensive content. Anyways, he does end up letting ace-jack go, and I'll win the first hand of the day. Very solid start. Mariano in this next hand once again starts things off with action with a raise to $300. A bunch of calls over my way, and I see pocket 9. Seems like a pretty good reason to bump things up with yet another raise. I make it 2,100 against the field, and Dr. P is the only one brave enough to make the calls. So we're getting a heads up to a flop of Jack 10-6 all hearts. Interesting. I really don't like this flop, but at least I have a heart as some sort of a backup. I'm not really sure at this point, but I decided to start off with a check out of position, and luckily Dr. P checks this one back. So seeing a free turn, which is the 10 of clubs. Board pairing, still not really loving it, although I think my hand can be good more often now maybe, but I check it over to Dr. P, and he throws out about a 4K. With the heart, facing a big bet, happy to give some action. Maybe could fold this hand, but I'm in here. I make the call. River is the 5 of diamonds. It really doesn't change a whole lot. Once again, I'm going to start off with a check and hoping to see a check back, I think. I probably won't be able to call any sort of river bet, and he does end up checking it back. And I show my 9s, and he shows ace 10? Trips will be good, Doctor. Very nice hand. I win one, I lose one. Seems pretty fair. To the next hand we go. We are in the thick of it again. Dylan raises the 300. Francisco makes the call, and I look down at King 3 of hearts. Shout out to you, Korean Savage. I just can't help myself. I gotta raise it up here with the good old K3 to make it $1,800, adding a lot of aggression early and often in this session so far. I hope this hand doesn't let me down, and Dylan makes the call with one of the worst hands in poker. I don't even know what he's doing. Anyways, heads up we go. Let's see how this one goes. It comes King 9-9, top pair. Honestly, it seems pretty solid. I mean, I don't really know what I can ask for when I re-raise the King 3. So top pair I will take. If only I knew what Dylan had, I threw out a bet of $1,200, and he comes along for a call. Now going to a turn, which is the 5 of clubs. The flush draw gets there. I check it over to Dylan now, slowing things down, and he ends up checking this back, which makes me feel pretty good about my hand. So when we see the 10 of hearts river certainly going to be betting top pair for value, what could go wrong, right? $2,000 I throw into the middle, and Dylan makes the call, and I see what you guys have seen the entire way. Aces. Nice hand, Diller. I got sniped. Man down, getting sniped with aces. This video is brought to you by PokerCoaching's biggest sale of the entire year, their Black Friday sale, where they're also announcing the launch of their newest advanced cash game course headed by Chris Brewer, one of the best in the game. And also, fun fact, I'm part of it as well. I got a chance to have a one-on-one coaching session with Chris Brewer talking about some cash game stuff. And if you guys want an inside scoop about that, then you should check it out because they're offering a 71% discount for a very limited time only. If you click the link in the description below, PokerCoaching.com. The Black Friday sale is kind of insane because there's just so much value and they're offering a whole brand new course to check out. On top of that, I also have another feature in there where I go over some of the heads up stuff I played with Doug. Me and another buddy and fellow poker coaching coach, Justin Sleba, walked through some of the hands that I played during that heads up match. So that should be some pretty good content. Lots of stuff to learn from if you are trying to get better at poker and you play a lot of cash games. This is probably the best time to take advantage of this sale, maximize on all the valuable content that is released in this course. So definitely should check it out. That's where I learned how to play poker, and link in the description below. It's only for a limited time only, 71% off discount. Kind of insane. Anyways, thanks to Poker Coaching for letting me give you guys the opportunity to get a chance at this at a very cheap price. Anyways, let's get back into the video. In this following hand, the stand-up game is on, and Jeffrey doesn't have a button. It's going to come into play as he raises. There's a call, and I pick up ace 10. Happy to make the call as well, and we see a pretty good-looking flop, ace 8, 5, 2 clubs. Pretty sweet with top pair. I check it over to Jeffrey, and he throws out $600. The other player folds, and of course, I am in here, never folding top pair, and even more liking this spot because of that stand-up game. Jeffrey's incentivized to fight pretty hard for these pots, so when we see a turn king, 2 flush draws, and wow, I really expect him to keep on barreling pretty heavily with multiple flush draws, with a card that should be good for him. I check it over to him, and he does fire out 2,200. I don't see any reason to do anything other than a call here with just top pair. Let him continue blasting and see what happens. So we're off to a river, which is the 3 of clubs. Front door flush gets there, but you know, given the stand-up game dynamic, I won't be folding to any bet, really. So when he goes ahead and bets 3,500, this is a very adequate and convenient price to call with top pair. So I just flick it in, and he says, I'm good. Ace 10, going to take this one down, make a little bit of money back after the last hand running into aces. My pair aces, myself, are going to hold. I really like putting on the $200 straddle for some reason, because that always creates some bigger pots. And this spot, Dave raises it up to 500 in the cutoff. Doctor makes the call, and once again, I've got a spicy hand, or at least the one that I want to get spicy with. 7-6 of clubs. I raise it up to 2,500. I mean, I think I'm on full maximum aggression mode here today. Dave makes the call, and Doctor gets squeezed out of this one, and we see a flop of ace 6. That is very bad for Doctor, as he would have flopped trips. But here with a pair of sixes, I start off with a small bet of $1,000. Dave comes along with a call. Now we see the turn jack. Now, at this point, I really don't feel super good about my hand, so I decided to check things over to Dave. And then he fires out 3,000. And yeah, at this point in the hand, I just have one clear option, which is a fold. But that's not very fun, right? I mean, also, I think raising here would be a very fun option to explore. I could try to get a jack to fold and other smaller pairs like nines and whatnot. So let's just try and experiment. I raise it up to 8,000. This is a check raise to 8K. Dave doesn't have a whole lot behind left in the stack. What am I doing, everyone? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Anyways, Dave, like I said, doesn't have a whole lot behind, so I'm really hoping this works, and it doesn't. Nope. At least not yet. Doesn't work yet. Dave comes along for a call, so we're going to need some assistance on this river, which does not come. No 6 for me. At this point, he has somewhere between $12,000 and $13,000 in his stack. It's only about a half pot sized bet, but I certainly have to try it. I took myself down this road, and let's go all in. Dave doesn't snap call, which is wonderful news. At the very least, I have a chance that Dave could end up folding, and we're going to find out here. Let's go to the live action.
This is a very unusual bluff. Would be in my opinion, a better line as value, but it seems like Rampage just has a very clear idea of what's happening in this hand. And we'll see if he has a similarly clear idea about what thresholds Dennis Dave is willing to fold to, because this is not generally a great way to get
I have a 6.
anyone to fold. Dennis Dave doesn't make the call and wins a $50,000 pot.
Yeah, so Dave doesn't end up folding for a half pot bet, as he shouldn't, to be honest. Very nice call by Dave with a jack. He deserves this pot, and I say goodbye to this 50K pot that I really tried to win. Now I've put myself in quite the hole, and when Sun raises up to 400, Dylan makes the call. It's time to get back on track here with pocket jacks, this time a premium, and what a surprise. I'm back to re-raising things up again to $2,200 out of position. Anyway, Sun ends up making the call, and we're going to see a flop of 9-8-6-2 spades. Very, very nice to have an overbear here, but Jacks doesn't necessarily love this board, so I check it over to Sun, and he does throw out a bet, and it's a pretty large one of 2,500. I mean, at this point, guys, look, I'm just too stuck to settle for 2,500 here. Certainly have to try to go for all of it in his stack, so I check raise to 8,000. Mainly at this point, I'm just trying to, get it all in on the turn, or even right now on this flop somehow. And if I'm beat, then, well, looks like I'm beat. But Sun is in the tank, and he thinks about his decision for a long while with the pair of 8s, and he ends up folding. Man, it's really nice to win this hand, to be honest. That's always a great result, I guess. But wish I got a little bit more than, whatever I made in this hand, because, like I said, I've got a lot of work to do. About 2.5 hours go by of literal card death, and Dave ends up proposing a 5K flip to me and him as the two last people in this stand-up game. Mariano ends up joining as well for this 5K flip, so suddenly we are flipping for $15,000, and we're gonna go sweat the action here.
Oh, come on, I got a 7. Let me in.
I don't care.
That's the nuts.
I'm cool with it.
Sure.
So if he loses, you guys gotta flip again.
So Mariano negotiates his way in here.
Mario, I'm rooting for you, dude.
Oh, there's a 7.
Oh, you luck box.
Open ender for Dennis Dave.
The angle.
What are you guys doing? Checking?
Yeah, I check. For now, 7. Come on. Oh, God.
Hey, club me.
Flush draw for Rampage now.
Club me.
Diamond.
my life.
Okay, Dave,
Oh,
you just need a diamond.
All right, maybe I
And
got a
Dennis
diamond.
Dave makes it straight.
Diamond or a 6.
So he's going to get the marker, and Rampage is going to lose the stand-up game.
What a time to flip and lose $5,000. On top of that, Dave wins this flip. So I also end up paying everyone $200 for losing the stand-up game. Double whammy, losing a little bit too much money than I would like to on this hand, but got a rebound, and dear God, please help me, because I have ace-10 of spades in middle position. I raise it up to $400. Our good friend Mariano says 400 just isn't enough, and he decides to make it 2,000. Look, I've got a playable ace, so why not see what happens? I make the call, and we see a flop of 10-7-5 rainbow. Pretty decent flop overall, but Mariano ends up starting with a check. And here onto me in position. I think I can go both ways with a bet or check. Certainly have to be a little bit cautious here, knowing that Mariano can slow play some bigger pairs, like checking on this flop. So here, top pair, top kicker, I check this one back on the conservative side. Turn comes the 8 of diamonds, and once again, he checks. And this is now, I'm thinking, probably a much better card for me as the in-position player. And now I certainly deem it unlikely that he has an overpair, but still a possibility. I decided to go for a large bet of $4,000, trying to get some value from worse 10s, some draws, all that fun stuff. And for 4K, he ends up calling. So I really don't feel amazing about my hand anymore, and especially not when the river comes a 9, 4-liner to a straight. He checks, and I snap check this one back with just one pair. I don't lose to pocket jacks. I mean, this luck box, man, gets there. Runner straight. I mean, we can all just ignore the fact that he was ahead the whole way, and I'll lose this one. Another big hand on the stream, and this was actually ended up being the last hand on the stream. So things didn't go very well on stream, but hopefully can turn it around post-stream. Can I make it all back? Well, we're going to answer that question right here, right now. Playing 25-50. I have ace-queen offsuit in the small blind, and Mariano, once again, he's in the hijack, raises it up to $400. With ace queen off, I think, well, we're going to get after it because I'm going to make a 3-bet of 2,000, and Mariano comes along for a call. So we're going to a flop of jack 10-9, 2 diamonds. Really tricky board here. Open-ended. I have a queen. I have a diamond. Are they good enough to win? Who knows? But I just actually started off with a check to see what develops. Mariano throws out a bet of 3,000 here. Pretty large bet. And I am not going to be folding this one, of course. Have too much going on for me at this point. I make the call and see the turn queen of diamonds, which gives me top pair, but yeah, overall, not much. Flush gets there, straight gets there, 2 pair gets there. I don't really know. Everything besides ace queen on this flop. So it goes check check on the turn, and now we see a river board pairing 10. Once again, I don't think I can do a whole lot of betting here unless I'm trying to bluff with the queen. So I check it over to Mariano, and he fires out $6,000. What can I do, everyone? Let me know in the comments below what you would have done at this very last hand of the night. I think it's a clear-cut fold, but you know, who knows? It could be Mariano. He could always be bluffing. That's his superpower. He always finds a way to be bluffing. But I just let it go and believe him. And later he tells me he had a flush. So, you know, I guess I'll take it. I lose the last pot of the night, and we're going to have to count out how stuck I am from today's session. All right, closing time. The lights are officially closing, and I have these chips. And in for 300, out for 257,400. That is too bad. But hey, it is what it is. Shout out to the 10% of people that bought on StakeKings. I unfortunately lost you some money, which sucks, but it's day 1 of 3 of the Hustler series, or I guess live stream here. Day 1 of 3, 2 more live streams to go. Hopefully I can go ahead and win some money the next 2 days. If not, it will be a bloody week of cash games, which I guess I'm due because I have been winning a little bit in cash. Anyways, good luck to me. Good luck to everyone that's going to buy on StakeKings. Hopefully, let's make some money. Hit the like button. More pity likes is cool because I lost 40K plus today. On to the next video. See you next time.